This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
All right, we are live. Welcome everyone that is coming in this afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. Our hearts go out to you if you're in Southern California. It's a crazy time right now, so I hope you're being safe right now. Of course, those up in the East, Midwest, getting some crazy snow as well. Continue to be safe, but I love being on this show. So we've got Marisa, myself, Steven here at Power Selling Pros, and we absolutely love working with our agents. We like to call them the director of first impression because you are truly rock stars. I love this call may be recorded. It's fun. We get to listen to some calls and we'll play them and just kind of get some feedback. So we always have the chat up as well. So we've got the chats. We've got some comments that you can chat in as well. Love hearing from all of our peeps out there. So, all right.
I'm excited. This is the first time I've been on the show with you, Steven. So I'm super stoked. Amber's here. Hi, Amber.
Amber waves.
Yeah, she almost never misses a show. So I love it. Yeah, like Steven said, our hearts go out to everyone in California with the fires, and of course everyone that's getting this Arctic blast. But it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and I'm excited to start listening to some calls and coaching them up.
Absolutely. And the great thing is that most of the time, this is the first time we're hearing these calls as well. So you may see our reactions of, oh my goodness, or, ooh, I like that. But the opportunity to serve your clients every time that phone rings, every time you get to connect with that customer is a winning that moment. And especially in today's world, there's so much stress and anxiety. So you have an opportunity to really change your client's life through a kind word, through understanding that we can help you, that we're here for you, giving those reassuring phrases to let them know, man, you called the right place. So always exciting. So Absolutely. I get excited, Marisa. So you tell me what we got to do next.
I know you do, and I love it so much. And I love that you started off with telling everyone that they're director of first impressions. Ever since I've heard you say that the first time, that's really stuck with me. And I was like, he is so not wrong. That's truly what we are, director of first impression. Love it.
But you got to realize, I mean, you're really helping another human being. I get it. It may be plumbing, heating and air, electrical, garage door. But the thing is, there's a pain point. This is something they didn't plan for. So you have to understand you're doing more than just answering phones, man. Exactly. You're helping another human being in this thing called life. We're all in it together. So let's just help each other along the way.
Absolutely.
So very good. So
awesome.
You got a call queued up for us?
I got a call queued up. Let's give it a go.
All right, here we go.
Thank you. Can I help you? Hi, yeah, this is Jill. I've got a problem with my air conditioner. First of all, I want to let you know that I called twice this morning, and the first two times when I tried to dial your number, it went to second time it went to, I don't know why, but I kept trying until I found y'all. So I need somebody to come out. My air conditioner, you guys have worked on it previously for me, and previously it was apparently said the heat, that it was so hot, it was doing this, the reason it was cutting off and not working. Well, that wasn't the case yesterday, and I came home last night. It was set on 74, but it was reading 80 inside my house.
Wow.
Okay, one moment, pull up here.
You can pause it right there if you want.
Sure.
So, and again, I don't mind listening to the entire call. I like to pause. So first of all, come on, man. Your greeting is your first impression.
Exactly.
Okay? Get a little bit of pep in there, right? Not hello. All right. Get your company name. Get your name. Have a great slogan. How can we be your hero today? How may we serve you today? But this is your moment of truth right there, that greeting. And I get it. It's one of those repetitive things, Marissa, sometimes, but make sure that they understand the greeting. And because it's repetitive, if you go through it really fast, thanks for calling Nelson Heated and Air. This is Steven. How can I help you? No one's excited, right? So
but
if
like you
you
said,
rush,
it's the first impression too. Like if it's not there, what are they going to think about us throughout the rest of the call? What are they going to think about our technicians?
it's how I feel over the phone is a direct correlation of how I feel I'm going to be treated with my technician. But out of the gate, I think to myself, did I interrupt this person? Do they even like their job? Should I do business with them? So there's value in that greeting to really set the tone. That's what you're doing. We're setting the stage of what's to come. So don't dismiss that greeting. Understand, this is our moment. You've got a few seconds to make that first impression.
7 seconds, man. 7 seconds. And I love Amber says it herself. Greetings need to be great. Like Steven said, it sets the tone for the call. Not most of the time, Amber, all the time. All the time.
I love that. And, you know, customers always are wanting to be acknowledged. So they always like to be heard and understood, but they like to be validated and acknowledged. So when someone says I called twice, they're looking for someone to acknowledge. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. I'm so glad you got through. Talk to me. Someone calls in and says, well, I'm an engineer. Awesome, man. What kind of an engineer are you? Well, I'm a doctor. Oh my goodness, what kind of doctor? They're looking for a validation. That's why they're telling you these things. They have to be heard and understood. And so she goes into talking about, you know, the last time you've been out there. So it's a prior customer, which is a win, right? They called us back. But the heat, you know, it was just so hot. She gets home, it's set at 74 and it's at 80. Whew. And now we can kind of keep moving on. That's getting hot.
I'm dying just thinking about that. Already 80 degrees, guys. It's 29 where I'm at. Bring it on. Yeah, I agree. I mean, she said it because she wants us to acknowledge it, right? And I mean, we're probably at a good 4 or 5 seconds of just dead air. We're hearing that. Okay, one moment. Definitely an opportunity for us to acknowledge what she's telling us already. But yeah, let's keep listening and hear if that acknowledgement does come out of it.
Okay.
Here we go. It's playing.
All right. We can get somebody out there, but right now my first available is going to be on Monday morning for our 10 to 2 slot, so I can get you on that schedule, but I can also put you on our move up list in case anything opens up this afternoon.
Okay. I do want to comment on this, but I'm very anxious to hear the response. Do you want to talk about it first, or should we hear the response?
So remember this, always think to yourself, how do I want the customer to feel? So I have to use certain word choices, or I have to acknowledge them in order for them to feel that validation. When there's dead air, it feels, and I know you may be doing something, but you could narrate, you could go, oh my goodness, tell me a little bit more. So it comes across that they're just not engaged.
Yeah.
And this is really important to this customer. So there's a disengagement already. You know, phrases like, well, my first available or my move up list. Come on, you know the urgency list.
Right. And that was my thought. I mean, I would consider this an upset customer. The fact that the first thing she said to us is, first of all, I need to tell you that I've called twice. She said, and she specified, the first time I called, it went to voicemail. The second time I called, it did this. So
I need to acknowledge that right there.
I'm immediately acknowledging, I'm showing that reassurance. I'm showing that care. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. You've got me now. What's going on? I'm here to help. Jump into the care and reassurance. Amber says, when would you like us out? And then go from there.
We can absolutely help you. I'm so glad you called us. Talk to me. Yes. What's going on? But, you know, may I get your name? Or if it's a previous customer, the name comes up and you're like, oh, is this Amber? Oh my goodness, Amber. So you're saying you got home last night you had the thermostat on 74 and it's 80 right now?
Yeah.
Right?
I love what you just said about that right there, though, Stephen, is going to get the name. I mean, she kind of did just, if she uses Service Titan, look, guys, Service Titan is freaking incredible. It is way ahead of us for where it should be. But it's great because it does pull up our account information. But at that point, and we're not acknowledging who we're speaking to, that's a very transactional relationship.
Yeah, this feels like I went through the drive-through at McDonald's. It literally feels like I better check my bag at the end of this
Oh, no.
transaction. It didn't feel like a connection whatsoever. And if it feels like a transaction, it's not memorable, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't create any loyalty. So
Yeah.
the dead air, my first available, she never found out, tell me more, what's going on. She just went
Yeah.
straight into, here's my next available. We don't even know, is this an urgent call? Is it emergency? Is this the only system she has? Has this ever happened before? Does she have kids, dogs, pets? I don't know, but I need to know because I want to discover with some empathy what's really going on before I ever jump into scheduling.
I agree.
But we continue.
Yes, I sense some sort of emotional reaction to come, so I'm excited to hear what comes next. Let's go.
Well, I guess you guys have just got too big for me. Let me put out a notice to everybody on Facebook and see if I can find somebody to get here today because I cannot go the whole weekend and tonight without any air. Okay?
So, like I said, I can, yes, ma'am, you're absolutely okay to do that. Like I said, I can put you on a guaranteed on Monday and put you on our move-up list in case anything opens up. But if you'd like to look elsewhere, that's completely up to you.
Y'all got to understand, I just can't go without air conditioning. I have to have some air in the
Ma'am,
house.
I completely do understand that, but I cannot just bump somebody else who currently has an appointment, which is why I said I can put you on the guaranteed on Monday because we're closed over the weekends.
All right.
Oh, okay. First of all, you could feel now how it's escalating. Like you could feel the anger when an agent says, like I said, like you're a child, like I said. And she says, you have to understand. But you don't understand. You're right. You know why the agent didn't understand? Because she didn't ask great questions to really listen what's going on. So for me to give out a phrase of, well, I do understand. No, you don't, because you don't even ask the right questions.
Right. Yes. This is that tip of the iceberg that I tell everybody. Like you said, we don't know what's going on. We didn't ask anything. So this emotional response is, reasonable in her defense.
And now remember this. This is a client. They've already used us before. And the agent's like, well, if you want to go somewhere else, good luck. Like, do you understand what it costs to get a customer and then to maintain that customer? It's extremely expensive. I'm not saying I could get out there today. I'm not saying that is the case. I don't know what the schedule is. But if I could connect early on with their name, what's going on, there's a better chance the customer may be a little bit more understanding of what our schedule is, and we could work through something to figure it out, of course, with my urgency list, not my move up list. But there's always a better chance. I'm not saying, and Amber knows this, it's not 100% that you can please everybody.
Yeah.
But if I'm fighting for the customer, there is always a better chance, the law of reciprocity, if I'm giving to them, there's a better chance they may give a little bit towards us as well. And then together, we can work this out.
Yeah.
This is why the beginning of the call is so important on that connection.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't connect early on, it escalates so quick.
Just like Amber says, there's just so much tension on this call right now. And I agree with everything that you're saying there, Stephen. I think if we were to have created that connection early and have taken the time to discover and understand and show that empathy earlier, that this tension could have dissipated, or it wouldn't have gotten as far as it did. She wouldn't have felt the need to say, I'm going to take this to Facebook and I'll find someone else.
And Amber's right. You can hear and feel the tension. But I'm going to go back to what Marissa said. If you had taken the time at the beginning. So now I'm wondering, did this call come in at 4:59 and this agent's just ready to leave and she just wants to go home?
Oh, wait.
Because it's very dismissive. It's always what we can't do. We don't have calls on the weekends. The best I can do, like I said,
the verbiage.
at this point, someone's sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, verbiage, guys. Verbiage is everything. Being able to remove those negatives and make them into positives. Being more empathetic rather than sympathetic. Work with your coach. They have all the right answers for us. We have about 25 seconds left in this call, but I think we've heard enough of the emotion today. I think let's move on to the next call, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, start with that greeting. Make sure that it's solid. I always encourage our agents, don't just sit in that chair all day long, right? Move around, stand up, jump down, turn around, pick a bell of cotton, whatever you got to do, but put some energy in that because your greeting is really important. And again, like Amber said, go beyond the transaction. Make it a connection first.
Yeah, make the connection. I think that's everything. All right, here comes call number 2.
Hi, thanks for calling. This is Kelly. How may I help you?
All right. Just since we were talking about greetings when we left off here, let's talk about this one because it made me so happy. That's the energy we're looking for. It's that upbeat. It's that smile. We can hear it over the phone. This was great. Great.
And I know her name is Kelly.
Yeah, already. Amber agrees, says the tone is way better.
Yes, I just have a question. I have I need a longer B pipe installed from my furnace to the ceiling pipe. Do you guys fab your own B pipes, or how does that work?
I'm not sure. I don't really know what a V pipe is.
It's for the gas, your methane.
Oh, for the gas piping.
It's got the middle insert.
I'm gonna pause it right there. Amber, you've been in coaching long enough. Is it okay not to know the answer to everything? Give her just a second here, guys. I know she's typing.
Yeah. Because we don't expect you to know the answer to everything. And that's okay because we're not diagnosing over the phone. It's okay, but the way she responded was wrong, said Amber. With, I'm not sure, I don't know. Right? So he's calling in for something specific, a B vent pipe. That's the exhaust from the furnace that goes outside that eliminates the carbon monoxide. So that's actually a safety issue. Not that an agent necessarily would know that.
Right. I was just about to say that. I'm so glad you know that, Stephen.
But I possibly could have said, oh, tell me more. What's going on with that B vent pipe that you're looking to achieve? I could have got a little bit more details of what's really going on so that possibly I could direct that person in the right way, which is either A, why don't we have a technician come out there, take a look at that? That's a great question for a technician. Maybe it's let me gather some information. But instead of the I don't know right up front, I would probably say, oh man, tell me more. What's going on with your B vent?
Yeah, absolutely. And like Amber says, she said she wishes she would have heard something more like, hey, that's a great question. I'm more than happy to get that answered for you.
My God. Who is Amber's coach? Jeez, oh Pete, Amber.
And I love that. And really what this comes down to, guys, is our confidence level. Again, you don't need to know everything. You don't have to have an answer to everything to be confident. Mandy, shout out to Mandy. Ow, 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 ow. She's awesome.
Wow. Because that response was, wow, that's a great question. I can help you with that. So you're
Yes.
taking ownership. You're validating. That is a great question about the B vent. You
Yes.
don't have to know what it is. It's okay. But we're going to drill down and figure out what's really going on. What's the real pain point? So, Amber, give yourself a high five.
I'll make sure to give a shout out to Mandy too, that you are so amazing. But yeah, guys, it's your confidence level. Again, we don't need to know everything. It goes back to what we were saying in our last call about the verbiage. It's how we communicate to the customer that's going to make them more confident. So if we say things like, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. That's immediately going to cause the customer to lose trust and value in us as a company because our director of first impression just told them that they don't know. So like Amber said, that's a great question and I'm more than happy to get that correct answer for you. Can you tell me more about what's going on with this particular part? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Don't focus on what you can do. Focus on what you can do, and you can get a technician out there to evaluate.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's keep going here. Unless you want anything to add?
No, we'll keep rolling.
Keep rolling. Here we go.
It's got an outer layer. It's got an outer, and then it's got a middle coupling.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure about that one. Is it just like an existing one that went out, or?
Well, I got a new Williams heater, floor standing furnace, but where the ducts match up, they don't match up. And trying to find a way to get this resolved here.
Oh, okay. I mean, we don't really do a lot of duct work.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not really our specialty, duct work. We do a little bit of duct work with installations, stuff that we install ourselves.
Just out of curiosity, Stephen, because you're a parts guy, is this a specific duct work?
So actually, this is what's called B vent. This is the metal pipe that goes from a gas furnace to outside the house through the roof. So you get the off gas from a furnace is carbon monoxide. Very bad. So it has to be vented. It has nothing to do with duct work.
Okay.
Duct work is what is supplying the air and returning the air. Not that they necessarily need to know that, but this customer's having to explain to this agent stuff. And now all of a sudden, it feels like she's trying to diagnose of, well, I'm not sure. If it's duct work, we don't even do that. The reason I think this is a good call is let's get a technician out there. Let's get boots on the ground. Let's figure out what's going on. He already said it emits, I think he didn't call it carbon monoxide. He called it something else.
Yeah.
But he knows there's a safety issue. But even if you don't know what B vent is, it's all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we don't do that. It's kind of like if someone called in and said, hey, my washing machine is leaking water. Well, we don't do washing machines. Well, how about pause and go, oh my goodness, where is it leaking from? Because if it's leaking from the washer box, yeah, as a plumber, we do work on that. If it's leaking on the bottom, that's an appliance.
Right.
So don't be so quick to judge what you think we do or don't do until we have some real clarification of what's really going on.
Yeah, don't jump to diagnose. I think that's a great piece of advice for people who may not be confident in what we do exactly. And I've got to show one more of Amber's comments here. It says, let me get a tech out there and we'll assess the situation, see what we can do for you. When would you like us out? Now, my favorite thing about this, Amber, is you ended in a question. So you kept the conversation going and you're helping them get to the root of the problem.
Yeah, and Amber, you could even say, you know what, this sounds like some great questions for our technician. What I'd really like to do is have one of our techs take a look at exactly what you need, get you some options together. So when would you like us to come out? It's an ending with a question for Amber is really leading that customer to make a great decision. Diagnosing over the phone is just guessing. And and it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah. So key points, guys, if you're not confident about what areas of work that we do, or if you're not confident about maybe the specific part they're asking for, continue with that positive verbiage of, that's a great question. We can absolutely assist with this by sending one of our certified and insured technicians out to the home to assess the issue for you. Now, can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on? Like what's the reason of cause? Think of that who, what, when, where, and why. Why is it doing it? Where is it at? When did this start happening?
I like, Marisa, how that you coined that phrase, jumping to the diagnosis, because it kind of like this. Let's say someone called into Amber and they're like, hey, do you guys, how much you charge for duct cleaning? Oh, we don't do duct cleaning. Okay, click. How about how much do y'all charge with duct cleaning? Oh, I can help you with that. Tell me more. What's going on with your ducts? Because now all of a sudden, maybe it's a bigger issue. Maybe we need to go out there and figure out something different.
Mm-hmm.
So customers don't know what they don't know. So we need to pull it out to discover what's this real pain point. Once we discover the pain point, to Amber's point, it's really easy to solve, which is, why don't we do this? Let's have one of our awesome technicians get out there.
And I love that you said that right there, Stephen, that even if we don't do that scope of work, still ask them, because there may be an additional issue that is occurring in the home. I can't tell you how many CSRs I have coached where, immediately they're just like, well, I know what the answer is. I know that we don't do that service. And I'm like, do you know? Did you ask them? Did you discover more? Like, tell me more. Like, how did you know? And they're like, well, I get these calls all the time. And I'm like, that's great. Let's ask more questions to see, like you mentioned the washer earlier. And if it was leaking from a certain part, maybe their water heater's right next to it. Maybe it's the water heater leaking. We won't know until we ask. If you guys have ever had Nathan as a coach, he always says it. You don't get if you don't ask. And that is another one of my top 5 quotes that I use myself.
It is, because even if we connect it well and we realize they just wanted that duct cleaning, I could then jump in and say, well, hey, you know what? Do you mind if I ask, when was the last time you had your furnace checked out by a professional?
Love that.
When was your last time you had this service? And they're like, well, what do you mean? Boom, there's your in. So it's about asking great.
Guys, every opportunity is an opportunity to book.
Yeah.
Every opportunity. Every call.
Every opportunity. Someone calls in and says, hey, I need to order a pizza. And you say, oh my goodness, absolutely. You want deep dish Chicago, then style New York, talk to me. What are you looking for? By the way, when was the last time you had your heating and air system checked out? What? Well, I can help you order a pizza, but we happen to be a premier heating and air dealer in your area. And all of a sudden, you're taking a wrong number and turning it around.
I love that.
What Marisa says, every time the phone rings, it's an opportunity to connect with another human being, to serve another human in a time of need, even if it's ordering a pizza over the phone.
I love that. I'm gonna have to use
Amber,
that
it's crazy.
during my next yes test. I'm gonna have to bring that up, because that's great. Because I always ask them, can you bring a pizza with you? That's so fun. I love that one. Well, we've got a solid 60 seconds left. Stephen, do you have anything else that you can share of your words of wisdoms from not sounding confident or the tonality of your voice? You always have these key points of wisdom that I love to hear. Give us one more.
I think because sometimes we get rushed and it's repetitive, we forget to slow down and look at our verbiage, look at our pace and tone. This is the first time a customer is reaching out to us, possibly. So slow it down and understand we want to be that Chick-fil-A. We want it to be a connection. Otherwise, you're just McDonald's and it's a transaction. So pull back, slow it down, pay attention to my pace and tone. Always tell the customer what I can do for them, and be the resource. Just be the resource for that customer that is reaching out for help. Why? They called you. You're 911. There is no 912. So let's let them feel that important over the phone.
Gotta throw this up there. Now I want pizza and a heating inspection, right? Steven can sell anything, you guys. I'm telling you. Well, I want to thank Amber. Thank you for joining us today and commenting and being so interactive. I absolutely love it when you join our calls. And anyone else who was on the call watching us today, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back here next Friday at noon Central Time. If you have time, please join us. Please comment. We love the collaboration. Steven, any last words?
Continue to be safe and serve your clients.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.